The teachers are alive. They're not books. They are the very living essences of nature itself.
What a strange person.
Unbelievably powerful supercomputer that's running our reality, and we don't have a clue as to how to operate it.
So when maybe you or somebody else creates an AGI system and you get to ask her one question, what would that question be?
What's outside the simulation?
Say in your mind, say to yourself, I am more than my physical body, because I am more than physical matter. I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world.
Welcome to Lighting the Void.
Broadcasting live from Daytona Beach, Florida. This is Lighting the Void. It's cosmic conditions on our new moon tonight, October the 6th on into the 7th. Mary Ducina's back. She's here with us. You know the number, 1-800-588-0335. But here's the thing. We got one. We're going to make this real fair. We got one line, right? So all of you people that are trying to call in early, I shut the phones down. When Mary gets done talking, I'll open them up and then we can go in, right? So if you want a free reading from Mary Ducina, tonight you'll night. I don't know. We can go through all this support the radio show stuff in a minute. Later, I got a feeling the message is going to be way too important tonight. Lots of chaos, lots of crazy energy. Man, before I bring Mary on, just to tell you guys, I found a fascinating TED Talk. I watched a TED Talk today on an addict. This guy said that addicts are leaders. It was a fascinating title. Clicked on it, got my attention, and he talked about all the NA meetings he went to for 15 years. And I think I was supposed to see this. And his three things that he said that he took from those NA meetings were tell the truth, be authentic, do uncomfortable work. And I think I got to thinking, though, the cause and effect, if we all did those things, what would the planet be like? Seriously. Because there's a reckoning coming with this energy. I'm not going to speak for Mary, but obviously I've talked to enough people to know it's here. MaryDucina.com, MaryDucina. MaryDucina.com. That's where you want to go check out her website, get a free extensive reading, life-changing reading. We've been doing this for years with her every new moon. If you're listening to the broadcast for the first time, right here on Lighting the Void, she's branched out with Kevin Baker, does shows with him on the full moon. She's changing lives, folks, right? But still the mother of LTV, always will be, right? You guys go check out the network, fringe.fm, make a donation, support the network. We need you. We love you. So, you all know her, born on Halloween, Mary Ducina, the witchiest mountain witch, mystic woman you've ever met in your entire life. Not afraid to say what it is, how it is, when it is. All the what, why, when, where, and how you're going to get. Thanks, Mary. I really don't feel good, but I took a lot of over-the-counter medication, so I'm feeling pretty good.
You sound good. Your voice tone is very nice. If you've been feeling kind of puny, sounds like you got your mojo up and going.
Well, I'm still sweating pretty hard, but I did a little shot of whiskey.
That's good.
And made a hot toddy.
That's a good sign. No, that's a good sign. If you don't want to stop that, you want to be able to let the body, release the toxins. And it's good to have a shot of whiskey and some hot tea, or I'm sipping on some all-natural limeade with elderflower liqueur.
I did that.
Because it's autumn.
The old grandma style, though. Like I took some Benadryl, drank a bunch of water, covered up with as much stuff as I could, and just sweated it out earlier.
That's right. Did you ever have any of your relatives put that Vicks vapor rub on your chest to make you go to bed with that smelly stuff on your chest? Or on your feet? Some of the grannies would put it. Some of the grannies and mamas would make you put it on the soles of your feet and then put socks on.
I freaked out. Like yesterday, I was going to go. I don't even know if it was yesterday, the day before. I was going to go to the doctor, and I drove into the parking lot, and then I just bailed. I just didn't want to do the COVID tests and all that stuff. So, so I'm starting to feel
not
better.
Not my monkey, not my circus. Of course, because you took on the responsibility with your intuition. I mean, it's good that you went there. And see, when we go into potential scenarios like that, it kind of fits the Libra emerging into Scorpio theme that we've got here in 2021, because we okay, am I being too headstrong, Aries? Should I balance this out, Libra? Should I be able to just, acquiesce and compromise, Libra, and not always have to have it my own way or with my own say-so, Aries? Because that's the polarity we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with the Aries and the Libra polarity, because in the archetypes of the 12 beautiful starry spices in the recipe of the zodiac, when we have something going on, a lot going on in Libra, that's just 6 months away from its brother sign of Aries. And so in the northern hemisphere, Aries is the impetus of spring and the new dawning and the start of the western zodiac. Libra is the gateway, the portal that opens up at the other equinox for autumn. And so each season has 3 main spices during that recipe of that star soup. And so for autumn, it starts with Libra. Then we have Scorpio as the second autumnal sign. And then we conclude autumn in the northern hemisphere, because I know there's people that listen from all over the world, with Sagittarius. And so we have air, etheric, Libra, and then we have fixed water, the depths of the water of Scorpio, and then we have the fire of desire of Sagittarius. Sagittarius being the final fire sign as we're running through the great turning of the wheel of the year. And so right now in Libra's symbol it's not a humanoid, it's not an animal, it's not a creature. The symbol is the scales of what's weighing heavy on us and where could we lighten it up, and what, to your point of the TED Talk that you listened to, where might we first start with telling the truth with ourselves. And in your chat room, I just pop in and out, in your chat room, this new moon is at 13 degrees, the 13 degrees of Libra. And when you tie that back into the mysteries of the Tarot, in the major arcana, the triumph of the 13 is death, transformation. What's fascinating about how that all moves into a synchronistic flow on the 6th going into the 7th is that Pluto, the planet that rules Scorpio, the underneath of everything, is the death and the rising and the resurrection of the energy of Scorpio when it transcends the eagle and moves into the phoenix. And so what we have here with this tension, we've got triggers of tension that really started back in the 3rd week of September with our messenger Mercury. How we say it, if we'll say it, do we want to hear it, how we take it, how we repeat back to it, how we act, how we react to the moving and the spoken word. Sometimes when we get angry, we yell in traffic and we speed up. We start going fast, or we get reckless, or we just, we take out our frustrations behind the wheel of that motorcycle or that car. And so Mars right now, we've got a stellium. We've got a grouping of energies, which means Spirit, Divine Source really wants to get our attention in each of our charts, each of our starry maps, to do with the energies and the frequencies of Libra and everything that's about Libra. Because here's what we have. The sun and the moon tonight, married in the sign of Libra today on October 6th, but then Pluto turned direct in Capricorn, and so they're all like, uh-oh, there's the Lord of the underworld, there's the governor of death, and that which needs to die, that which, and death is always great change and transformation. Then we've got Mercury in Libra, still retrograde until the 18th, and we have Mars in Libra. So Sun, Moon, Mercury, Mars, all in Libra. Libra's Venus ruled. Mars rules Aries. Mars is in its weakest place in Libra. Mars is fast and furious. It's the acceleration on the motorcycle or the car. It's like, let's get going. What are you all waiting for? I'm ready, been ready to go. I'm ready to go.
I know
that's Mars. It wants to just
good.
rush ahead. Yep. And so Libra's like, well, wait a minute. Did we pack some water? Do we have money? I mean, Libra's trying to balance it all out with like, yeah, I'm up for a good time too, but I need to kind of take care of some details. So our words and what we're hearing on the internet or what we're seeing on TikTok, and there's a big old thing on the news with TikTok now, but the pranks are turning to be very destructive. Even here in the state of Tennessee, there's some new TikTok challenge where it's really sad. It's really deleterious energy where they're saying, go destroy public restrooms, go destroy the school restrooms, bust the windows and write on the walls.
That's how that censorship stuff starts. Well, I don't mean to butt in, but that crazy, stupid, immature stuff is what causes things that we don't want on the internet, because it's going to balance itself out. It will. Someone will come in and make rules,
Well, they're locking the bathrooms. All the park, this is the big hiking season, and the leaf lookers are beginning to arrive always in the mountains, in the Smoky Mountains, in October, November. So, the really nice country people in Tennessee are like, oh man, it's a bathroom. It's there when you're hiking. It's there for when you for you to have a rest stop, and not have to, So it's like, come on, kids, can't you? The guy that has to clean it all up was so nice. The older guy was locking the door, and he goes, come on, kids, you got, they say in the country, you got too much time on your hands if you're just going to, get into meanness, like just unnecessary meanness.
Here's the thing,
no need for it.
Everybody I've talked to, and our show's down to 2 hours. I'm only going to take one break, so we got to make this stuff kind of quick. But everybody I've talked to has like, it doesn't really matter who I'm talking to. It's like chaos in everybody's life right now, and it usually has to do with, I think, it's really self-focused chaos, I think. I don't know how to explain it. Well, but there's just a lot of chaos going on.
Well, the Aries energy is, what about me isn't satisfied? What do I need to do? Why am I frustrated? How do I fix it? Why can't I fix it? Why can't I direct it? The fire signs in general are generals and directors and make it happen type of leaders, type of people. When it comes to the cardinal signs are the crisis signs. So the fire signs are ready to take action, but the cardinal signs right now are very pronounced and enhanced. And cardinal fire is Aries, and cardinal air is Libra, and cardinal Cancer is the water, and cardinal Capricorn, which we still have a lot of stuff bouncing in, is cardinal Capricorn is Earth. When you think of the cardinal signs or your cardinal houses in your chart, that's how we deal with conflict, crisis, chaos of change. Now, I will tell you, and I'm going to open with this because it's important, there is great change and transformation that's orbiting around us right now. The key, and I'm going to give some specific birth dates, the key right now are the archetypal houses of Aries and Libra. So it's me, myself, and I, Aries, in our charts, in all of our charts. Aries in your zodiac birth chart is where the ego projects itself forward.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what house it is. Aries is where you're ready to get on with your life purpose. Libra needs to know what's the big picture. Aries just wants to get going, and Libra says, yeah, but what's on the horizon? What's the big picture? And look at it this way. Aries is the dawn, Aries is the sunrise, and Libra is the sunset. And we both love them. We love both of them, but the sunset has a different energy than the sunrise. Some people are all about the early morning and the sunrise to greet the day and a new beginning, and there's other people that find that spiritual refreshment watching that day end and the sun drop below the horizon and invoking the energies of the night. So let me give you a couple of Libra things about the death energy. So right now with these planets in Libra, particularly triggering Aries, Libra, particularly triggering the cardinal signs. Death is always about, when you think about it, sometimes different cultures and artistic books throughout history and the Renaissance have talked about the death angel, the angel of death. A lot of people that have worked with hospice say that people start seeing either relatives on the other side or pets or feeling an angel coming by their bedside. So it's about, right now it's about the balance of give and take, the balance of let's take it back to ourselves. Let's balance it out with Aries. What do we need to seek change in letting go, but also be open to how it could be transformed, how it could be renewed, and what is the promise of rebirth? Because the phoenix, it may combust in its own fiery ascent. It's like, boom, there's spontaneous combustion, and then there's that rebirth. So the tarot's death key is number 13, same as this new moon. And so a lot of people throughout history have also said 13 is an unlucky number, but it's a challenging number, and it certainly represents the transformation of resurrection. Pluto turned direct today. So when we think about death in the tarot, it's not speaking of physical death. It's speaking about the death of one's ego. So we're ending how we project, how we see and learn about ourselves in relationship with another. So it's a wonderful healing journey can begin. It can really be a marvelous healing journey when we begin to identify and expose, Libra, self-reflection through the mirror of our other. And if that's your main boss, if that's your intimate partner, if that's that family member that you've struggled with a psychological dynamic, year after year after year, we're still seeing a projection and or a reflection of ourselves through the mirror of the other that has captured our attention or fascinates us while we keep going back for more. Mm-hmm. So this energy, it's tense. But think about the old-fashioned seesaw at the playgrounds, like at McDonald's and different places. The seesaw, that's my perfect symbol of like a modern-day Libra thing. One kid would get on one side of the seesaw, and the other kid would get on the other. Well, if somebody has you up in the air and they jump off the seesaw, you're going to come crashing down. And it's that equilibrium, that balance on the seesaw, even though it was just a simple board or, that would go up and down like that. It was like each person got to feel going up and then gently coming down. Well, the gentle descent is Libra, but the thrust to go up on that seesaw and get to see the other person go high up, like sometimes the kid would try to really make the other kid go up really fast. That's the Aries. Aries is like that momentum, that push just to get, away from just the boredom and away from just the stagnation. So right now, I guess if I could give you a short affirmation, tension is the teacher. Instead of avoiding conflict, which sadly most people do, instead of returning again and again to the same chaos or crisis point, and truly, if we're honest with ourselves, the frustration is, I can't believe I'm back at ground zero with the same problem, with a different person or the same person. Why can't I seem to resolve this conflict? That is the beauty of Libra.
Now, just to be clear,
be able to have that open heart.
Is this happening across the board, like with the people you're talking to? Like,
oh yeah,
yeah,
oh
right.
yeah. I knew it was, when you study transits, I knew it was coming in, back when Mercury was going to retrograde in Libra, because when an astrologer that's worth their salt, like I'm already looking at 2023. So an astrologer that's worth their salt is doing a real far view on the transits that are coming up. And so when an astrologer look when you just gaze at 2022, the first thing you start to look at is, when Mercury retrogrades next year, what element will it be in? Because Mercury tends to bounce around in an element. So when I see that Mercury is going to be retrograding in the air element, in the etheric element, then it has to do with how we think, how we get unstuck from monkey mind, and how we communicate. And I've noticed this year that people, different than 2020, the people are really, they're angry, and they don't seem to be able to get the words out, or the words that they're choosing. It's just like, of course, being a sarcastic Scorpio, if somebody flies off the handle and I feel it's unwarranted, and I look at them, I want people to feel what they need to feel, but if they fly off the handle and even attempt to project their crap onto me and I didn't cause it, if I cause it, I'll own it. Going, yeah, I did, yeah, okay. But if they just throw it to me with someone's got a stellium in Scorpio, I look at them and I try to do humor. Humor's a great way to de-escalate a situation instead of just being so ready to fight back with gnashing teeth. And I'll look at them and I'll say, "Oh, were you talking to me?" And then they'll look at me because they can't believe I had that response. And I'm like, "Were you talking to me? Because I'm sure you weren't talking to me."
Well, it feels
and there's
like
times that you don't have to cuss.
It feels like that starting. Like I feel this energy of like you're talking about, like I'm starting over again. It's not just in like relationships, but I mean on a business level.
But here's the point of that.
Levels.
Here's the point of that. Okay, but here's the point of that. With every death, with every mystery of a death of a job or a death of a location or a death of a partnership or that having to close the door and walk away, and the death thing is where it's like, okay, it's like sometimes we want to cling on so dearly because we're afraid. We're just afraid. And I think that the death energy is an ally when it reminds us of the ever-changing cycles of life. The only constant is change. And so when death and rebirth, they're twins. I mean, they're twinning because we're letting go of one thing or something's ending or dying as it was, and then we can transform it from the dark or the shadowy. And we're doing shadow work right now. It's that time in autumn. And we're going to bring it into the light of the bigger picture and a more positive, knowing perspective. So when any cycle in our life comes to an end, always, always the seed of something else is in the offering. So death of any sort is going to be, we're humans, so it's going to be a fearful experience. Even the shamanic initiation rituals, they'll take someone into a trial death experience, tricking the ego into thinking that it's died in a physical death, even when they do ayahuasca or DMT or hallucinogenics, and then taking it back to the portal of rebirth back into this world. So when we go through our own cycle of death, thus rebirth, transformation, ascending, it'll raise your awareness to a higher understanding of your overarching life purpose. But it's sobering, Joe. It's sobering. And it's never easy, which is why we fear it. I don't want to. I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. I want to stay right here and get comfortable and just hug somebody. I don't want to have to go do that. So it's always a profound healing and an opportunity for rebirth. And death, any kind of death, although nobody sits down and says, boy, I hope there's a death today. I mean, any kind of death experience.
Some people like it.
Well,
some people like it, right? I mean, come on. Well, I kind of like it. Yeah. I mean, like on Gladiator says in that movie, Gladiator, he says, when death smiles at you, all one can do is really look back at it and smile back,
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly, because you know that it's a meant-to-be, fated transformation. Now, I don't disagree with that. But death as a teacher right now, what we need to look into transforming, not necessarily ending. I'm not saying this orbiting death vibration of Pluto turning direct means that's it, it's over. I'm breaking up with that job. That's it. They've angered me for the last time. Death is assisting us to release the demon, to release the parasitic energy that's tethering our ankles and holding us back, for how it can be magnificent at the next level of consciousness. So when we're going through these difficult times, pain can be one profound teacher. I did a lot of seminars and workshops on pain as a teacher in my years in Florida, because I would say, let me tell you about pain. Let me tell you why pain roars up on you. Because when Spirit's trying to get a hold of us and it's given that little subtle knock, 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 you're hurting. Would you like to work on this? No, I'm fine. I got this. So when pain comes in, I don't care what you're doing, playing golf, talking on the phone. If something really roars up and starts hurting, pain is a very powerful teacher. It will grab you by the cojones and get your attention. So death and tension are also, they trigger us for the teaching. So death and tension and vulnerability, when we feel the difficulty of that, it wants us to trust in the divine source. So our faith and whatever our soul anchor is in the divinity or the divine frequencies, and the love, the innocent child love in your heart, and your elixir of kindness, and your desire to have a place in the world that's soft moments and comfortable and treasured, and you're cherishing time with what you love. That's what pulls us through the darkness. So these moments right now, all the way up especially till October 18th and 20th, if we'll open up to it, no matter how it looks right now, it ain't over till the proverbial fat lady sings the opera. It's not over. This is showing us deeply embedded unconscious layers of why we're frustrated, why it keeps trying to slap us in the face with that person or that situation to get us to turn around and face it. Facing it means it starts with each of us. So if we find that we won't resist it with our heart, then our spirit can be filled and we can actually summon and ask for the divine light to come back into us, to release me from the darkness, renew me with like that first breath of spring. We're getting ready to see what spring birthed, Joe, with the autumn. Those of you that have the autumn seasons, we're getting ready to see the autumnal colors on the leaves. They come out with all their pretty shades of green in spring, and now they're going to turn all kind of blazing, same colors of a fire, of a natural fire. That's a tornado alarm going off in Tennessee. Sorry, talk about crazy times. Sorry, I should have put the cell phone in the other room. But anyway, there's the amber alerts going because Tennessee's had all kinds of problems with storms. But your mystic is good. See, mystic knows where to live. So this is the Libra is the light and dark. It's the give and take, and in your soul,
that's the kind of energy that's
richer. Absolutely. And you know what? Like I was saying, it roars up. Like you're busy, you've got things all planned, and you're like all prepared and everything, and all of a sudden it's just like, I said, I'm going to make some noise. I'm going to make some noise, and I'm going to get your attention. Now, when you do the replay of this show, it might be interesting what sentences I was saying right before that alert alarm went off, that tornado alarm went off, which is interesting. It's like, and Tennessee, another T, tension, triggers, teachers, has been having some tornadoes and some copious rain going on. They're like got roads flooded out in different areas of Tennessee. So Mother Nature's, she's kicking some butt. So the point is, the bigger point is, our vulnerability goes back to our innocent child. It's profound. Pluto just turned direct. We've got our 3 teachers getting ready to come around direct. So Pluto went direct today, and Pluto's saying, let me tell you what you need to let die. Let me tell you what you need to bury. You need to let the negativity die.
Yeah,
you need to let the fear die. Yeah, stop letting fear leash you. Stop letting fear stop you. If somebody comes at you, then you just need to say, okay, my normal response would be, oh, no, you didn't, and come back. And it's fine if somebody's treating us in here comes Libra again, an unfair way, or someone's not playing with the win-win. Somebody's being lazy, and we're showing up prepared and ready to do what we need to do as a team player. Libra is the team player. What can we do together? Libra is we, Aries is me. So right now, Aries people, for example, need to really look at who it is that matters in their life, who it is that can give them desire and softness and make them feel emotionally secure in a sense of when it's good with that person, when I've got that connection with that person at work or that place that I go or my time with that, my BFF or that particular partner, just being able to hear their voice should be an uplifting experience. Even if there's conflict in the world, there's been too much divided we fall, united we stand. So we've got to start even in our close orbited relationships, in our internet connections, in these chat rooms that you have, and our ability to all of a sudden it's the new moon and we can connect with each other in this little tribe in the corner of the world. We need to be there to listen and to support. Libra is about listening. Aries is about assertion and action, but Libra is about, if you want the love, you've got to listen and you've got to slow down and you've got to take the pregnant pause. And for those of you who have ever seen The Wizard of Oz, Libra energy, I can summarize really quick. It's Glinda the Good Witch.
All right. So can I ask a really Aries, selfish question based on what you just said? Because I'm not the only one that's in this situation. I know other people that have all,
of course not.
So Aries sun, if you're an Aries sun or Libra rising, or if you're a Libra sun and an Aries rising, all right, and you got Cancer on the moon, you're a triple cardinal sign. So you have all this emotion of, hey, let's get this done. Let's bring this balance. Let's have this emotion. Let's do it. But it creates in my life, I think it's too much like nowness, I guess, but it's remember, way too conflicting. And that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, since 2017, we had the dragon's head and the dragon's tail. We had them flipping around in the Aries Libra type of vibrations, and we had eclipses with that, and then we roared into the huge Capricorn stellium that hit in that mid-January point, Yeah, so that hit all the cardinals. All of us had the Capricorn Cancer axis in our chart hit. But this particular time of the year, because Pluto's still in Capricorn, and like you're talking about the cardinal signs, which I already mentioned, Mars has not been into Libra for 2 years.
Oh, really?
It's not been there for 2 years. Yeah, so this is the first time for 2 years, do the math, that Mars has been in the sign of Libra, transiting the sign of Libra, and it's going to be there. It's going to be there till the 30th of October. So what it's trying to say to us is like, I'm Mars. I'm the gas pedal. I'm the engine that could. So Mars is saying, hey, people, if you don't want the tension, I'm Mars. I rule Aries, okay? I'm the accelerator. Saturn's the brakes. So Mars right now in Libra is getting along with Saturn, which is in Aquarius, because they're both an air element. So Mars could still be putting all this pressure. But what's happening is Mars is saying to us, you got to look at with open eyes. Don't be avoidant. Don't be in denial. Really look at who you're living with, really looking where you're living, really look at what you would like to have in your emotional life, what you would like to have in your personal life, how you're showing up at the table of love. If you were serving your skills and your talents and your good qualities of your character that you can level up with, what are you bringing to the table of intimacy and love? And I'll tell you the worst thing, Joe. The worst thing isn't couples that have tension. The worst thing isn't couples that are struggling and maybe bantering and bitching and doing things back and forth. The more dangerous situation that I've run into with counseling clients for a few decades here is that when the couples they're just really quiet. I mean, they pretend that everything's okay, but they've shut down. They've decided to stay and to keep it comfortable for whatever finance or whatever, but they're really being deceptive. They're giving the perception to the outer world, to their families and to society and their jobs, that they've got a good coupleship going on, but they're dead inside with each other.
Well, all right. So how many people, just out of curiosity, when they contact you, how many people, like, is it 90? It seems like everything, even when I look online, it seems like it's 90% relationship, love stuff. Like, no, not. I mean, I'm just asking you.
I have a lot of clients. You got to understand, I'm going to tell it like it is. And I have a lot of clients, when they come to me, they know I'm not going to tell them what they want to hear. They know I'm going to say to them, are you ready for me to give you some keys to unlock yourself? Are you frustrated yet? Are you tired of the same old narcissistic person that you're living with? Or stop blaming them and step up to the plate and let's unlock you. Because if you unlock you, all of your relationships are going to improve, because you don't have to show up to be right all the time. You don't have to be a right fighter. You can get it right. So let me give you some specifics.
Okay.
So who's favored right now are Geminis that are born right around the 27th to the 28th, Aquarians that are born around the 24th, 25th, Libras that are born around the 28th and 29th. Who's profoundly challenged to let the negativity die, with Saturn turning direct at 6 degrees of Aquarius when it turns direct over the 11th, 12th of October, are Aquarians that are born like the 26th, 27th, Leos, July 28th, 29th, Scorpios, coming up this month, October 27th and 28th, and you Taurus folks out there, or anything that you've got at 6 degrees of fixed signs, is what I'm doing. And you Taurus that are born the 26th or 27th. So now, the cardinal sign birth dates that are challenged the most, with Pluto turning direct at 24 degrees. When Pluto spins around, as it did today, it turned around at 24 degrees. 2 and 4 is 6. And numerology, 6 has to do with seeking emotional security. The 6th house is a service house. The 6th and the 12th house are polarities to each other. It's Virgo Pisces, and it's about, I'm tired of sacrificing. I'm tired of suffering. I like to give. Where's my match? What can I do in my givingness that'll be appreciated? Okay, and guess what the tarot card is? If we get to a 6, that's the Lovers. And Venus rules Libra. So when you're synchronistic in metaphysics, you can see all this at different multidimensional ways lining up. So you Libras that are born around October the 17th, 18th, Aries, to have something, or any cardinal signs at 24 degrees, but Aries specifically born the 13th and 14th of April. You Cancerian moonchilds, or your moon at 24 degrees near that, or July 16th, 17th birth dates. See, she does her homework. And Capricorns that are January 13th and 14th. Don't be the victim of your own reactions. So when the conflicts or the arguments are triggered, go immediately with yourself and say, what got triggered in me? Where am I feeling vulnerable? How can I rise like the phoenix? And instead of being afraid of my vulnerability, I could use humor. I could use the spirit, the essence of play. I could summon my sincerity in my response with my words. When Mercury is retrograde, it can actually resolve ongoing conflicts. I love when Mercury's retrograde because I know how to work with it.
Yeah.
So when Mercury goes retrograde, then you can say to yourself, okay, my normal fly off the handle response might be la 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 la. And the people that know me would think, oh, I know Mary. I know how she's going to handle it. I know Joe. I know what he'll do. That's going to get Joe sad, or that's going to get Joe mad, or whatever. But when Mercury's retrograde, remember, Mercury's also known as a heyoka. He's a trickster. So when Mercury's retrograde, we can have better acumen, like we can become more shamanistic with our word crafting and how when you cast words, and you put emotion behind them. As I say to my clients, emotion equals energy set into motion. That's what emotion is. We have put into motion our feelings. And so at a new moon, and a new moon in a very detached air sign of Libra is saying, this is that new moon for you to craft a plan. Don't just focus on what you don't have yet, or what's not working yet, or what you haven't walked away or gone your own way with yet, or gotten your own way. The new moon in Libra with Saturn in Aquarius and Jupiter in Aquarius getting ready to turn direct is saying, this is that time, the 6th, 7th, 8th. This is that time for you to set an action plan, Aries, action plan for how you will have a beneficial relationship, whether you're currently involved with someone or you're going to be deeply go into a deeper level, take it to the next level with somebody in a relationship. Some of you are in pursuit. Some of you are like, oh, no, hell no, I just got out. I don't want to date anybody. It's too complicated.
Right.
I hear it all the time. It's like, oh, hell no, I don't know.
Yes, maybe you just get exhausted from it. It's exhausting, Like not just, and you can't blame people for being exhausted. You're just exhausted, right? Like I'm exhausted. I don't want to be tested, tried, prodded. I just want like peace.
Okay. So you take the tension, you see the tension as your therapist. You get new coping dynamics from it. You let go of the defensiveness. We don't tolerate the passive aggressiveness. First from myself, always take it back to, am I being too defensive? Am I being too passive aggressive? Am I being narcissistic or gaslighting? And am I using the wrong choice of words? Am I deliberately wanting to sting them back and trigger them? Listen, Libra is all about compassion and action. Mm-hmm. Libra is all about, anybody can get angry. Anybody can be sarcastic. Anybody can scar and wound and burn with words.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that. That's not for the spiritual disciple. The spiritual disciple is, can you say that to me in a different way? I really care about what you're feeling. What's at the bottom of this? You're so upset. Can you just take a breath? Can you take a breath and tell me what you feel like you need?
Well, I think people should do, honestly, I think, because I'm going through this whole realization of what you're talking about in the biggest way, but I think people should do that in their workplace, right? Like, even in your workplace, if you're,
absolutely,
people don't feel appreciated, or you don't feel like you're being recognized for what you do, like, you should stand up and say it in a nice way. Be vulnerable about it to your boss, whatever, Be authentic.
We need to be wizards of words right now. Mercury is retrograde. We need to be wizards of words, and we need to be encouragement cheerleaders. I did not say BS artist. I said encouraging words. So when something genuinely hits you, it's like, oh, wow, that's like an 80-year-old guy, but look at that hat and look at that vest. He's kind of snappy peppy. He really made an effort for, being at that stage of his life. He could have just not give a damn, be sloughing out and running to the grove. He really, he got his game on, So I'm going to be the one that goes up to that guy and says, by the way, I want you to know you clean up real nice. We kind of say things different in the country. You clean up pretty good. Well, thank you. I mean, but that's not BS, Joe. Spirit had that get my attention. I'm not hitting on the man, but that man deserves to have something. He made a lot of effort and energy, and he summoned the energy to go out as a billboard in visual. Like we're walking tarot cards, we're walking zodiac signs, and we're walking colors, and we're biochemical units. And so instead of getting slovenly and angry and lazy, and I didn't get my way yesterday, and I didn't get laid, or I didn't get that job, or whatever, we need to show up and go, you know what, I got this.
People get that mad for not getting laid? That's insane.
Well, listen, you got all kinds of different psychological
that was humor.
Out there,
that was
honey.
humor.
It was, but it's true. It's sad when there's people that feel like that they're not desirable or worth anything unless they've got someone wanting to be around them and on them and in them, kind of a thing. So that's the challenge for Scorpio next.
Yeah,
that's November 4th. We'll talk.
I know that's a challenge for Scorpio, big time. But here's the thing, so you and I are communicators. We get on this. Let me go back to
let me answer your question.
Hold on a second, please. When we get on this show, I can talk. I can talk on this show and be myself, and everybody that I know that listens loves it. In the real world, it don't work that way. So what I do, it hasn't worked that way. Okay. So what I am learning to do, or what I have done, I don't know if you want to call it passive aggressive or not, but I just rather not talk in the real world. It causes too much stuff.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's my solution, but that's how I'm feeling right now. I'd rather just be to myself, not say nothing to nobody, just stay away from everybody. But here, I feel like I can be myself.
Well, it's safe. You're the director. You're the captain.
Yeah, nobody really flips out or whatever. It's fine. I don't get that yet.
Well, you got to understand something about naturally empathic people. You'll see it all the time in Psychology 101. You'll see all kind of memes and things on the internet. Empaths have to recharge their soul battery. When someone has a moon sign that's in a water sign, if your moon sign is in Pisces or Cancer or Scorpio, not so much Scorpio, they can go sulfur with their ones themselves. But if you've got the moon's strongest in the sign of Cancer, so when someone, male or female, is born, the moon is the emotions, the sun is the life, Pluto is the death, and Mars is what we're ready to go to war for, what we're ready to stand strong for, and Mercury is our messages and how it goes out. So when your moon sign is in the sign that it rules, Cancer Moonchild, Cancer the Crab, then when all these cardinal signs are fighting with the very tender sign of Cancer the Crab, and you're a natural empath anyway, when you get on the mystical path, no matter what your zodiac sign is, you're going to go through empathic levels and degrees of learning how to shield yourself, be very genuine, build your confidence, like you said about on the network, build your confidence that you can just be yourself and check yourself and say, oh, wait a minute, I'm hogging the show, or I'm doing this, or, I can't make it all about me. So, you can just be your genuine self and laugh about it and go, oopsie, there I go again. But so the Libra energy, when you think about Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac, she did a song called Go Your Own Way. And she's a very witchy woman. She's a very, witchy Gemini. So that's kind of what this is. So as an empath, we need to recharge our soul battery. So I recharge in nature. I deal with a lot of people in my work, but for me, I recharge with my alone time. And I'm very selective who my friends are. I'm very selective who gets to take my personal time. Libra, give and take. So let me run through the signs for you. Let me give you a little let me give you a little synopsis of this month real quick. Take notes, people, because here it comes. here comes the rapid fire thing. So this Friday, Venus is going to go into Sagittarius. She's been in Scorpio. So actually Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, turned direct while Venus was still in Scorpio. So that's bringing up our ability to be victorious, allowing our vulnerability. So usually when people have that fight or flight response and they're getting all angry or they're being accusatory or they're wanting to challenge you or trigger you deliberately, they're afraid of facing their own pain or their own angst. But when Venus gets into Sagittarius this Friday, it's going to kind of lighten that up a little bit because the air signs and the fire signs are kind of like, let's find the sweet spot, let's find the humor. So that's a nice thing that's going on with Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius. And Jupiter's the people. Jupiter's like, hey, it's a natural ruler of Sagittarius. So Jupiter's in a friendly sign in Aquarius anyway. When it turns direct on the same day that Mercury will turn direct, Mercury's going to turn direct in the air sign of Libra. That's congenial. And then Jupiter is going to turn direct in a very compatible air sign trine in 22 degrees of Aquarius. That's favorable for beginning to finally forge ahead. But right now, we're kind of like in therapy camp. Right now, we're kind of like in those kind of reality shows you'll see on TV, Couples Retreat or Facing Off with Each Other or Dr. Drew, Dr. Phil, those kind of things. Don't fight the cycle. This is an excellent cycle to construct an action plan and to make peace with anything that's estranged or lonely within our own self, and those that have been estranged at work or that we've had some kind of bridge between us or an estranged family member or we just didn't leave it on good terms before, you're going to start to see that solve itself. It's like there's a psychic salve right now, but I must say, with what's going on with them threatening to go into some kind of cyber utility and cashless society and get everybody all worked up. They got us all worked up with health, wealth. Your first wealth is your health. So now they're all starting the spin zone about the government's gonna start monitoring your money, and we're probably gonna get rid of any kind of paper money. So I don't care where you've got it stashed. We're gonna do a utility of cryptocurrency. You know what I hear psychically every time I hear that? Crypt, like a tomb. Crypto. We're going to tiptoe into your money and keep an eye on everything that you do. So that freaks people out, too. People, they don't like you getting into their money and their stash and their hidden stuff and all that and their reserves and what they've prepped and all that. So I'm telling you, they're going to try to ramp that up. But I want to give a word of caution on this eve going into October 7th, depending on what time zone you're on. There's some tension out there on October 7th. I'm asking you, as an astrologer and a psychic, do not drive recklessly tomorrow. Do not overindulge in libations or your prescriptions thinking I need to sleep more, I'll take another pill, or that hurts, I'm going to take an extra. Do not do that. There's even a global, I don't know, it's kind of like a psychic lightning bolt that I saw dealing with October 7th. So by me saying this as a tribe, we can dissipate that. But what we've got going on is we've got the good thing is Venus going into Sagittarius, later on, but we've got the energy of like the moon squaring off with Saturn, and we've got Pluto turning direct, and we've got this other stuff that's clashing with the Libra stellium, and it's kind of like fight or flight type of stuff. But when you've got Mars, and that being in Libra till October 30th, and it's got all these challenges at the new moon, it conjuncts the new moon, it can also have to do with rumors of wars or eruptions or volcanoes or just it can be fire in the sky. So let's not let loose with our sacred life force breath. Let's not let loose with angry, fiery, sarcastic, hurtful barbs or arrows with our words and our languaging. Level it up and pause. Take that pause and be kind. So if you're a Libra, happy birthday. And I have two Libra ladies that names begin with an L. So Dr. Lauren and Lisa, happy birthday. And the reason I mention them, Joe, is because when the new moon happens to fall on your birthday, then it's a signal for an auspicious year. So everybody out there born on October 6th and next month on November 4th, these are signals when the yearly birthday happens to happen at a new moon, That's the sun and moon giving you a nice kickstart to the year. So for those of you born October 6th, 7th, as this is happening, depending on your longitude and latitude in the world, very auspicious for those Libras. So with Libra, it's all about get your best game on, just be happy, embrace your life, be the representative, get out there and represent. It's your first house, it's your solar first house, it's your birthday time. If you have a Libra rising sign, you're coming out of the embryonic womb stage. You're coming out of everything that's the haunted house. The shadowy side of the 12th house is the haunted house. What scares me the most deeply inside of myself, what makes me weep on the pillowcase, what makes me rage against anything in this life, that's when we're going through our 12th house. So those of you out there that have a Libra rising sign, as we're going through the Libra right now, depending on the degree, like tonight we're at 13 degrees. So those of you that had an earlier Libra rising sign, this is like, woohoo, I'm out of my 12th house. Those of you that have a 28 degree Libra rising sign, got a few more days, got another week. So Libra right now is saying you are the number one sign that can get the first really recognized ability to come into balance right now. But Libra is all about who we interact with, who we desire, who we hope calls, who we'd like to chat with, who we'd like to laugh with, who we'd like to sit on the beach or go out up on the mountains and the waterfall with. Libra's that, who would you like to grab and just go see the sunset with? Who would you like to walk the beach with? Who would you like to just have fun on the phone with or text or FaceTime? So Libra's like, I can always count on that person to be authentic with me. So that's what Libra searches for, because they really want that within themselves. Now, and believe me, most Libras I know have faced a hell of a ride of addiction or faced abuse, and people think Libras are all soft, but Libras come out really strong warriors because they're the diplomats and the strategists. But with Mars and Libra right now, we're going to fail if we come out fighting, if we come out yelling, if we come out casting aspersions or blaming or shaming somebody else. Mars is not happy in the sign of Libra. Libra wants diplomacy and wants to look at both sides. Mars doesn't give a damn. It just wants to just state the facts, ma'am, shut up, move on, I'm getting bored. So Libra right now is saying, wait a minute, my opinion matters too. My needs matter too. So that's what we're all having to balance right now, regardless of our sign. If you're an Aries, this is that point in the turning of the wheel when you're an Aries that you really need to do some honest appraisals of your relationships at work, your relationships in your own household, who you're living with you, how is that living arrangement? Have you gone dead inside emotionally? Are you just, going through the motions, but you really would not prefer to be living where you live in that city with that person, with those people? So there's a frustration that an Aries, male or female, might tend to throw out onto somebody else, but really the war is raging within them. So the Aries right now is like, even if they're happy with their home or where they're living, they're wanting to seek someone to share that with. Aries wants to always share it with someone they care about. Libra is just trying to be able to get it right within themselves. It's like, I got to figure this out within myself and to myself be true. Libra always is searching for authenticity. But the problem with a bunch of planets in Libra is we'll play the game in order to get our way. We might play the game and say what somebody wants to hear in order for the win, in order to score the raise or score the romantic comeback type of a thing. So I'd say Aries and Libra right now, those rising signs, those moons, those sun signs, you really need to just be true. You really just need, you don't have to use a lot of words. You just need to say, right now I'm just too exhausted, or right now I'm just not into that, or I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to fake anything. I don't want to fight with you anymore. Just tell me the first step and how we can fix this. I'll let you go first. See, Aries wants to go first. Libra will say, you go first. Let's talk. Tell me what you're not happy with. Tell me what you wish you could see change. And let me just hear all that and give me a chance to pause and do a reset before I respond. And if you got a bunch of Aries and Libra in your chart, that's what you need to do. If you're a Virgo, this is your second solar house, so it's about what you value. It's about what you want to invest in. And it's also a great cycle for you to decide what you want to liquidate. It's like, I want less of that and more of this. So if you're a Virgo right now, it's a great time to declutter. It's a great time to plan about if you're going to do holiday shopping. Virgos like to plan ahead. Earth signs like to get things taken care of. So if you're a Virgo or a Virgo rising, it's okay if money's on your mind. It's good for you to look at your assets and your liabilities. That's your Libra balance, your assets and your liabilities, how that, if you feel like you've got a lot of debt or you feel like that a lot of people are taking from you and you're a Virgo, then it's up to you right now to bring that into balance. Otherwise, guess what? That becomes your haunted house. But you take money away from a Virgo, and you'll see a creature come out of there screaming with fangs, dripping with saliva. Yeah, Virgos always have hidden stash. When a Virgo tells you they're broke, don't believe it. Don't believe it. They got some stashed away, and that they don't even count that money. Or they don't even count those assets because that's their ain't nobody or me ever getting into that. Yeah. So if you're a Pisces, it's an 8th house thing. So a lot of Pisces, and I've had a lot of Pisces clients going to the edge of death. Going to the edge of death with an illness, going to the edge of death with the potential end of a relationship, of how they once hoped it would be, that complacency that can set into a marriage or an ongoing relationship you've had a lot of years with. So Pisces right now are thinking, is she bored with me? Does he still want me? So they're going through a lot of that, and they might try to bite back, by wanting to kind of control the partner or fuss at the partner or nitpick, because the shadow side of Virgo is to criticize and to nitpick and remind somebody how they're doing it wrong. Pisces is the upper level of that polarity, and Pisces is about, all of you Pisces out there, find your guides, summon your angels, maybe study a little bit about color and sound healing. Pisces does very well with fantasy. It doesn't always have to be alcohol or drugs, but Pisces needs to find something to where it's kind of like they have some type of fantasy or escape. And that's why a lot of Pisces people can be interesting lovers, because they know how to role play and do fantasy, but it's interesting. They're very interesting because it's easier for them to be out of body than in body, which is why they have to watch Getting Addicted. If you're a Leo or an Aquarius polarity, Leo, it's 3rd house. So even though the Libra planets favor Leo, the L team, Leo, Libra, even though Libra favors Leo, Mars is still not happy in Libra, okay? Maybe it'll sting Leo a little less. And Mercury is still retrograde in Libra. So with Leo, it's in the 3rd house. So if a Leo could write that special card or catch up the family book or write down some different things, like plan something, write their wedding vows, write something that they want to write that they really can't seem to say to their lover, their partner, or their child, or a parent, like there's too much friction with someone else. It's a wonderful time for Leo to take pen to paper rather than just texting or rather than just emailing. I understand that's another way to have the moving and the written word, but there's something about combining the subconscious and the conscious and your divine messengers when you actually put pencil or pen to paper and write it down, do your test draft, and then send that card. That like going in snail mail, like they actually get a card. It's like a genie out of a bottle nowadays because it's kind of old-fashioned. But it has a profound effect still to get a card because it's just not done so much. It's all electronic. And if the grid went down, it'd be nice to know that you could still write a card and put a stamp on something. So if you're an Aquarius is really longing to travel. They're tired of the lockdown. They love different cultures. They like the seminars. They want to go out of town. They want to meet and greet with people. It's a people sign. So Aquarius right now is kind of getting frustrated just dealing with work and the people not wanting to show up with work. And so Aquarius is like seeking a different kind of intellectual paradise. So there might be new courses or new subjects or a new line of study that would be intriguing for Aquarius, because when Aquarius gets mentally stagnant, that's when they get mean. That's when they go cray-cray. Aquarius has to have that intellectual woody. They have to have intellectual orgasms. You can't have an Aquarian lover unless you've got the attention of unless you stimulate them mentally, you stimulate them psychologically. It's like an Aquarius, I don't care what you look like, they want to be fascinated by you. If you're a Cancer Capricorn axis, now here comes that home career dynamic right now with all this Capricorn, Libra, Aries stuff flying around. So if you're a Cancer, it's like Man, it's that family dynamic. The holidays are coming up, and the out-of-town visitors, and they have little idiosyncrasies that they have. And a lot of Cancer clients I've been talking to this week, it's like, oh my God, now I got to clean the house because Thanksgiving's coming. So they're really not enjoying the thought of Thanksgiving, because it's like, here comes the relatives that don't want to pay for things and camp in with you and say, well, I really don't want to pay a motel, so I'll just come see you, And it's like, as much as people were griping about not doing the holidays or Hanukkah or Christmas or Thanksgiving, now the Kraken has been unleashed, and all the relatives that tend to be the hoarders and the tightwads are all like out on the move right now, like buffalo roaming the range, and the Cancerians are like, no, I don't want these people coming to my home. I don't want to. So where Cancers are trying to crawl back into their shell, even the moon in Cancers emotionally, they're thinking about, I need to do something different for the holidays. I'm not doing things traditional. I don't want to, it's too peoply out there. I'm not doing it. So it's good for Cancerians right now to work at home, get caught up on things. If you're doing stuff online, it's actually a very productive cycle over the next 2 weeks with Mercury retrograde and Mars in Libra for Cancers to get emotionally unbound by things that have been lagging behind. It's really great for Cancers to do that. All of a sudden they're going to find they've got the wind beneath their wings. If you're a Capricorn, it's all about a changing of the guard to do with your goals, your work, the CEO, the head guy. All of a sudden, the Capricorn might say, no, I don't want to be the head guy anymore. I don't want to be the head woman anymore. I don't want to be in charge. I just want to do the grunt work. I just want to do my job. I've been doing this for 15 years. I just want to do this. And all of a sudden, it might be more responsibility. It's being hurled upon you, Capricorn. So where Capricorn's trying to get unencumbered and unstuck, other people that are a little bit wanting to, spread their wings are going to try to dump it on Capricorn. So you might have to push back, Capricorn. You might have to say, no, I'm not taking on any more, even with the money. I'm not doing it. Gemini, Sagittarius polarity. Gemini, it's fifth house. So Geminis can suck all the damn oxygen out of the room if they don't have the attention or the applause of people around them. If you go to a gathering, pick out the Gemini, and you'll find that they're the ones that act like they're telling the joke, or they're saying something very, or singing or doing something melodic or interesting or humorous, but it's only so they can keep that momentum coming back toward them. Geminis and Aries can be very similar like that. They'll start a conversation, they'll trigger the conversation, they'll start the controversy, but they really like the feeling of others around them. They're very... They like the people. They like the interaction most of the time. I mean, there's always exceptions, but most of the time. But with Geminis right now, there might be something coming up with their inner child that needs a little correcting, or their actual offspring. There could be something going on with either parents or children, depending on the age of you Geminis out there. But it's a really interesting creative cycle. You might want to remodel. You might want to change the paint. There's something you're wanting to do to kind of upgrade your life. It's just you're like in this really creative phase, like shutting down one thing and really taking off with a home fix-it project or something I can do myself and be proud of it and save money. That Gemini loves all that. If you're a Sagittarius, you're beginning to draw the line on who you trust, who you feel you can talk to, who you feel you can engage with, and those walk away from the AI technology. Like, the Sagittarians are the ones leaving their cell phones at home and going out to lunch with somebody with no tracking, with no AI leash, with no black screen scrying device with them. Sagittarius are very interested in what the momentum of the world is right now and what the actual movements going on politically, economically, and with our liberation and our freedom. Sagittarius is very seriously involved with being a warrior that walks this world right now and getting the right message out. So your Sagittarian comrades, your Sagittarians, males and females, they're the ones that are getting you that intel, and they're the ones that know how to get it. If you're a Scorpio, okay, just like I was saying about Libra risings or Libra sun signs, they just came out of their haunted house. They just came out of their embryonic psychological recalibration. That's where Scorpio is right now. This is not, even though Venus has been in Scorpio and took the edge off, Scorpio, just focus on your work and your talents, because this is not your time to be in the spotlight. Did you hear me, Scorpio? It's not your time to be in the spotlight. That comes After the 20th, the full moon, 20th, 22nd, that comes in. But Scorpios right now need to just lay low, just need to keep their nose to the grindstone and keep on keeping on, because it's you don't want to push things, Scorpio, because it's your karmic cycle. It's your once a year solar karmic cycle where the great beyond is showing you in your dreams, showing you in your meditations, psychic flashes, amber alerts, tornado alarms going on. It's showing you, pay attention, because at the twinkling of an eye or the drop of a dime, your life can change. Not a time to be aggressive in traffic, not a time to be distracted when you're working with glass or you're working with tools or any kind of volatile liquids or scissors, or don't run with scissors, Scorpio. It's just not a good cycle for you for that. You need to really pay attention to your health and your wellness. If you're a Taurus, our final one, if you're a Taurus, it's your sixth house. So it has to do with what nurtures you, and are you taking enough time to nurture yourself. Tauruses get moody if they don't have time at home, similar to Cancer. If they don't have time at home and they don't have time to fix stuff around the yard or the house or go through the closets. I mean, Taurus gets a little OCD if they don't have things organized in their home. So if you're a Taurus right now, it's a great time to do that little thing of like, okay, I'm going to go through my clothes and I got to start moving my winter wardrobe here and put my summer wardrobe away. They don't relax if that's on their mind. And Taurus doesn't relax until they've got those bills paid, because Taurus keeps a tight grip on money management. And Uranus right now is in Taurus, and I promise you, this stuff that's going on in the news currently this month in October about the Facebook whistleblower, no, that's a ruse. And Zucker, that's a ruse. All that's a ruse. It's got to do with the left versus the right on what's going to happen with America and America's gold-backed dollar. Will we go back to that, or are they going to try to get the government overreach, George Orwell kind of stuff into our money? So that's a real thing out there, astrologically. That's a real hard-ass transit that's going on right now with Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Taurus has to do with our value, our worth, our ability to buy and sell and have freedom and liberation with our coinage, our money, our paper money, our bank accounts. And so when they start saying things like, well, we're now going to, if you make a deposit of more than $600 or you take $600 out, we're going to start to put that it'll be taxed right away. It's like, what? And that the banks now have to report immediately to IRS if there's any transaction above $600 going in. I was like, what? So, of course, the banks don't like that. They're Taurus. Banks don't like that because they know they're going to lose customers if they're required by the government to report the transactions directly to the IRS when you move $600 in or out. That's all Uranus and Taurus. It's shocking. Uranus is about shock and awe. And so the Aquarius planet, Saturn's still in Aquarius. Jupiter's going to be in Aquarius until close to New Year's Eve in 2021. The people, that's Aquarius. We're going to push back. That's what's going to start happening. The people, you can't oppress the people for too long and start dipping your fingers into their private lives and their homes for too long without the people rebelling. So I do feel good when these planets turn around direct in the Aquarius, that the outlook is better. The outlook is going to get better, but I feel like that we got to get through this 7th of October and the 17th and 18th of October, and there's a little bit of a kind of a take it easy type of energy on the 21st and 22nd of October. Just kind of, those are the dates, those are the red light days. I have green light days and red light days, and I like to give the red light days first, and that's the days stop, look before proceeding, really feel it out. And that's the 7th, and that's 17th, 18th. And then and Saturn goes direct on the 12th, so you're going to start to see substantial change over the 11th and 12th of October. And then as Mercury and Jupiter turn direct on the 18th, you start to feel the flow again. You're feeling the flow again. But when we get to that 21st, 22nd, of this month, that's kind of where the gears kind of grind or lock up a little bit. So remember to call on Glenda the Good Witch, because on the 21st of October, Mars in Libra, what did I say at the first beginning of this hour? Mars isn't happy in Libra. It doesn't know what to go to war with. It's confused. It's going to square off with Pluto in Capricorn. They're going to hit hard on the 21st of October. So that's a lay low day. That's a not come raging bull out with your anger or your aspersions or your criticism. That's a day not to be crazy in traffic. And don't start it. Just don't start it out there, because you're going to have to put a bow on it and finish it up. and it can come on you real quick. So anger management with Mars in Libra, just remember, anger management is a good thing. Be concise, be very clear. With Jupiter in Aquarius, that 12th, 13th, do what you say or don't say it at all. So there's a blessing way coming, and I feel like this next 2 weeks is like, what work are you willing to do to get some serenity and some sensuality and some frivolity and some fun and some creative adventuring in your life? So first, we can't create that and manifest that if we don't look at what we're grumbling about. So the Libra balance is, what are you so fussy about? Why are you so critical? Why are you so doubtful, O ye of little faith? So this is like, see the pink bubble of the good witch, popping open and going, hey, I'm your fairy godmother. I got a magic wand here. Hey, the blue genie's here. What would you like to do? So the next 2 weeks are really good for us doing our own shadow work, because there's embedded stuff with Pluto going direct. Pluto, it's been like locked up for a while. Saturn went retrograde back in May. So these things are taking us back till spring, and all that stuff we've been hoping for, or we got all bogged up with and congested with in our consciousness, is wanting to come up and say, hey, you probably did it better than you thought you did. And you're going to see some good results when we get to the full moon, the hunter's moon in Aries. That's why we're talking about Aries. The full moon is going to be in Aries over the 19th and 20th of October, and that's the reset. That's the big startup. That is the moon for me, myself, and I. It's okay if you're focused on yourself then. It's good to do that. But how would you like it to be when it comes to these words, these angry words? The reason I'm telling you to watch your words, especially on the 7th, 17th, and 18th, and the 21st, is here's the way to get in check with that. When we're thinking about, it's not what we say, but how we say it. If we take that pause, and now this is each of us doing our own work, and say this to yourself. If someone said to me those words that you just hurled at another person, if someone, that crap that you just let fly out of your mouth, how would you feel if someone said those very things that you just cast on that other person, or you spoke out in anger and you didn't care in your rage, you didn't care if that hurt somebody? How would you feel if those words were said to you like that, with that kind of force and fury? How would you like that? So with Mercury retrograde in Libra, the message is on the move. And the message on the move has consequences. It has consequences. So we're digging up, we're working on soul contracts, we're working on the tension toward togetherness, because that's Libra. Togetherness is Libra. What can we do together? What can we do as tribe or a team? So we've got to rise up from our own depths. And here's the kicker. The next time we go into has got to do with death and rebirth. And we've got Mars getting ready to shift into Scorpio on October 30th. So it's okay to say to yourself what needs to die in my personality, what needs to resurrect in my consciousness. And as a magician, how can I get my own butt out of the haunted house? How can I get out of the house of horrors? I got to get out of the haunted house. How am I getting myself locked up? How am I being ghosted? And how am I ghosting? And that's the overview of October.
Man, you ever go to like church and you feel like the preacher is talking directly to you? That's
Yes,
what
sir.
happens when you
Yes,
get
sir.
on, Mary. All right, so listen, when we come back, we're going to open up the phones. When I say phone lines are open, that's when the phones will be open. All right. So don't start calling in right now to try to jump ahead of everybody. I'm going to hit the go button, because if you do, I'm going to hang up. I promise you. I want everybody to have fair shots.
He's
at
an
this
Aries
one line.
now. Don't push Joe tonight. There's a lot of stuff going on. Don't push him tonight. Play fair. Play fair.
Y'all better be fair, be balanced, be nice, be equal to each
Right.
other. We'll be right back.
And be vulnerable.
Yeah, be vulnerable. Oh, yeah. The Fringe FM plays the best in alternative talk.
Her teachings has been at the forefront of unique investigation into both the mundane and the extraordinary. Critical thought and controlled speculation allowed us to determine
like this.
They did not find any jinn, but what they did find were waterfalls, snakes, dead animals, stalagmites, and cave pearls.
And this.
Engineering, grab a copy of Food Philosophy. For a deeper look into artificial intelligence, UFO cults, black...
All these and more are on KTLK Digital Broadcasting, Fringe FM.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Chaw Mouthwash, the all-new, all-tobacco juice mouthwash that yellows your teeth and leaves your breath tasting tobacco fresh. That's Chaw Mouthwash, available everywhere in the handy spittoon-shaped bottle.
I'm Clyde Lewis. You are listening to The Fringe FM.
Do you want to know the truth? Are UFOs real? Are aliens visiting Earth? Are governments around the world hiding the biggest secret in history? We're UFO Seekers, official partner of The Fringe FM, and we're on a hunt for the truth. Join us as we investigate locations like Area 51 by subscribing on YouTube at youtube.com/UFO Seekers.
Want to know what's on The Fringe FM? Check out our schedule at thefringe.fm.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Father Mortimer's Drive-In Church, the only church in town with an express confession lane for 6 sins or less.
This is the Rogie Report News on the Fringe FM, bringing you the latest in Fringe news from around the world and in every dimension. I'm Jess Rogie. A sword-wielding man dressed as a ninja injures 2 special operations troops during a training event. According to American Military News, the incident report stated that a staff sergeant of the Special Operations Aviation Regiment was taking a smoke break when an unknown person wearing full ninja garb, including a katana sword, approached him. The man in the ninja garb said to the soldier, "Do you know who I am? Do you know where my family is?" before slashing at the soldier. And according to the report, the staff sergeant fled from the attacker and hid in an admin building where he and a captain with the unit began locking all the doors and calling police. The sword-wielding attacker reportedly began punching and kicking windows and doors of the building before grabbing an asphalt block and throwing it through one of the windows, striking the captain. The suspect then fled and was arrested by responding authorities. The moon is slowly drifting away from the planet Earth. Apparently, the moon moves a little further away every year. Scientists say it moves about 1.5 inches a year. About 4.5 million years ago, when it first formed, the moon orbited 10 times nearer to the planet than it does today. According to The Atlantic, scientists have measured this retreat by beaming lasers at mirrors that the Apollo astronauts left on the moon. Using that data and other resources, they estimate the past movements. And at the current rate of lunar retreat, it would take about a century to add 2 extra milliseconds or so to the length of the day. China's population could possibly halve in the next 45 years. A new study warns that China's population decline may have been severely underestimated. Researchers said it was the first time that China had more seniors than young people. People are not wanting to have children due to increasing economic pressures. The study said there are severe shortages in supporting childbearing and child care. While the Chinese government has loosened its policy earlier this year on allowing families to have 3 children, numerous studies have pointed out that economic factors such as high property prices are a major force in driving down the birth rate. Conspiracy host Alex Jones loses 2 times in a Texas court battle over the Sandy Hook massacre. The InfoWars host disobeyed court orders to turn over documentation related to the lawsuits. A jury will be convened to decide how much Jones will pay the parents of 2 children that were murdered at Sandy Hook. This has been the Rogie Report News on the Fringe FM, bringing you the latest in Fringe news. I'm Jess Rogie.
This is Dancing Dave from Surviving the System, and you're listening to the Fringe FM. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the best revenge is success.
This is Jess Rogie with the Rogie Report News, and you're listening to the Fringe FM, KTLK Digital Broadcasting. The truth is out there, and so are we.
I've got one that can see.
Hey, this is Marcus45. I'm going to give you a little network shout-out comedy, little sketch. Warning, you're listening to illegal broadcasts. Fridge FM is not sanctioned by government. Anyone caught listening to Fridge FM is subject to arrest. All your personal properties will be confiscated. This is the only warning you get. Cease listening to Fringe FM immediately or you suffer the consequences. That is it.
This is KTLK Digital Broadcasting, The Fringe FM.
This is Tim Doyle from UFO Seekers. Thanks for listening to The Fringe FM.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Repo Sleepo, the only warehouse showroom in town that features only repossessed waterbeds. And remember, your credit is always good at Ed's as long as you pay in cash.
This is Rev Dan Lopez from Spiritual Warrior Today Radio, and you're listening to KTLK, The Fringe FM.
In your face, all over the place. We're online 24/7. 24/7. You're listening to the hottest internet station.
toll free from the United States or Canada.
All right, welcome back to Cosmic Conditions. The phone lines are open if you want a reading with Mary Decina. I would say lots of people, if you're smart, now's the time to pick up the phone and call. If you're going through any of this stuff that she's talking about, 1-800-588-0335. So many people have already tried calling and waiting. They're probably pissed. You know, this whole plan of mine probably backfired.
Well, we have to balance. We have to balance our anger, Joe.
I just want to be fair to everybody. You know, that's all. You know, if one person calls in, like, you don't understand. Like, people were trying to call in before the show started, 10 minutes before the show started, and were willing to wait on the phone the whole time. Right. And I don't know. That's
props and respect. Props and respect to dedication. However, that happened when I was doing a terrestrial radio show in Florida, the shows I did in Florida and Georgia, North Carolina. The producer would go, "Oh, look at that." He said, "Now, in one sense, I admire them. They're like, call them 30 minutes before we're going to open up the phone lines. And when I answer, they go, "I'll hold." And I said, "It's a free reading. That's why. I mean, they're going to call up and get a little free reading." And I said, so there's the good, bad, and the ugly of that. There's the like, hey, you know, good for them. They're probably a fire sign or an air sign saying, this matters to me, and I'm going to sit here and listen to the show, and I'm going to do it. Then there's the other side of that. So I salute it both ways of like, you know, you're blocking the line for what's meant to be and how fate is wanting to let through who's supposed to get through. So there's two sides to that, too.
Sure. So, look, here's the thing. If you call in and it goes to voicemail, obviously there's, you know, it's taken, but just keep trying. I had to do it when Art Bell was on, so don't give me grief. All right. You can do it. All right, here we go. Let's see.
Well, I had to do it. Yeah. And we had to do it. Yeah. We had to do it too on the show. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. 620 area code. It looks like Kansas, Kentucky. What is that? That's Kansas.
I don't know.
Who are we speaking with?
Hi, Joe. Hi, Mary. This is Ashley from down in Corpus. How are you guys tonight?
Hey, what's up? Maybe you're in Corpus. Maybe you just have a Kansas
tell you what, Ashley,
phone number, I guess.
She knows how to get through, doesn't she?
Yeah, she gets through a lot.
Ashley knows how to get through.
See?
I don't know what her secret is, but she should do a radio show because she could teach callers. Yeah. Well, she listened. Yeah, she listened.
I did.
Okay, so Ashley, I'm working with two things tonight because it's also the month, it's Rocktober. It's Rocktober because we have the Libra rules music and art and dancing and romance and sensuality. But then we also, in October, slide into Hallows Eve. And so it's the witching and the thinning of the veil. So I have my charms that I'm working with tonight, too. So I'm going to pick a card and I'm going to pick a charm. Are you good with that?
I'm great with that.
Smart girl. Never piss off a psychic. Never piss off a psychic. Okay, so your charm is the tree of life, which is interesting. There's like bountiful paragraphs that I won't even go into for you to go do your own homework and your own soul work to do with meaning of the tree of life and just study it and which branch you're drawn to and all the symbology of tree spirits. And I'll give you this much on a tree. My Native American medicine men teachers opened my eyes big time when they said, now we call what you call trees, we call trees the standing people. And I'm like, oh, I like that. And they said because they are the antenna from our Mother Earth, our beloved Earth Mother. They reach up to the light of Father Sky, Father, Son, Grandfather Sky. So they are the antenna that draw down the light and the energy into the roots of our Earth Mother. So they are the antenna to our Earth Mother. So literally the antenna of as above, so below. And a tree, and when you take horticultural classes, because I like to learn, they teach you that most deciduous trees, as big and as wide as their limbs and their branches are also the width and the breadth of the roots that go across underneath. So there's always a lot underneath the surface. And that's what I'd say with you. There's a lot underneath the surface, but you're branching out and enjoying the light. Your tarot card is the Queen of Fire. She's the Queen of Wands. And on this particular deck that I'm using, she has both a male lion and a female jaguar. So there's some kind of strong presence of a male in your life, like a manly man, or the yang energy is very strong, or there's something that you're really noticing that you can relax with and that you're comfortable with. And on this card, her heart chakra has a Reiki symbol on it. It's like got the chakra ray, so you can look up Reiki symbols. And something is opening up, like our hearts are behind a cage. Our hearts are in the rib cage. They have a little bit of a protection with our rib cage. And so the heart is branching out. So I see like flames branching out, like white flames branching out. So some type of fair-minded male, some type of male presence, some type of arrival after maybe a long time, or you thought something wasn't going to happen in some kind of dynamic exchange with maybe it's a male family member, or some kind of a lack is now going to be moving into an abundance. So I feel like the tree and the lion and the jaguar and this woman, and she's like her totem, her actual animal totem is the feline kingdom. So whether that's lion or cheetah or jaguar, but I'll tell you it's a black jaguar, which is very important in Mayan and Aztec and South American shamanism. So the black panther, the black jaguar, is looking at her with fond affection. It's a female. So you've balanced something within your own psychological nature of where your femaleness or your feminineness felt unappreciated or weak or not as pretty, or you've corrected a lot of things within yourself, Ashley.
Wow. I haven't announced yet, but I think I found my person that I'm supposed to be with.
Oh, that's
forever.
awesome. Really?
And and I just found out that I'm pregnant as well.
Oh my God. See, like the first time you called in, do you remember when I told you, and I know you're the same person, that I told you that you would find a man that would be all those things that you wanted, right? Do you remember that?
Yeah, and he definitely is. He's the most beautiful Scorpio. He has an 8-year-old daughter. She was born on Halloween as well. Just all these magical things related to him is, the stars definitely have aligned. Wow.
And you know what's wonderful, honey? You know what's wonderful besides that precious daughter and this man showing up? I think it's interesting that the lion's mane and the main man, it's like the lion's mane. The male lion looks so much different than the female lion. And the fact that you are going to be, did I hear you say that you're expecting, that you're pregnant?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't announced it yet. I've just told Sam. But
you haven't announced it yet. You just told everybody. But congratulations.
Well, the people that I know don't.
You know what? You announced
lighting them.
Right. Well, you announced it. You announced it on the new moon of love. You announced it on the new moon of Venus. because it's Venus rules Libra. So look at the balance that's coming. You're going to bring in a child from the energies of you and he together, and he already has the love for the girl, and now you're going to be able to add a missing piece, not taking anything away from her mother, her bio mom, but you're now going to be adding on into her life to be able to be a nice anchor for her. Absolutely, congratulations, Queen of Wands.
Does he let you be like feminine does he adore the feminine side of you, like the way Mary's talking about?
He does.
That's
he
amazing.
allows me to feel in that way. And I've never really been able to fully express in that way. So, yeah, most definitely.
You can be
and
vulnerable.
I really didn't think that I could ever have kids. So for this to even happen is like a miracle. So,
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two deaths. There's the death of a fear that you never really thought you could have kids, and there's the death of the second fear. So with the death is a rebirth that you never really thought you would have a man in today's culture that would respect and even be turned on by your feminine vulnerability, and both happened.
Which I got to tell you, like, as a man, I don't know. I mean, I can't really talk, but I don't know how that ever happened. Because most guys I know, include myself, like, adore the feminine. Like, it's what we're attracted to, you know, so don't.
As it should be.
Yeah. I mean, don't hide. If you're a woman listening to this right now, like, don't ever hide that, ever. And if someone tries to shame you or hurt you or whatever for being feminine or vulnerable or open or loving, like, that's insane. And I think you've been on a long journey, Ashley, right? Haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember her weeping when she first called in.
Yeah, you see? And you faced all
weeping.
that fear and uncomfort and everything, and look what you're getting. Look what you're getting.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I don't even know what to say.
Now you can have tears of joy.
Yeah.
Tears of gratitude. Gratitude. I am so glad when people call back in that have called us in like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It's so exciting. Let me tell you, Ashley, it's so validating and so exciting for Joe and myself and people listening, maybe for the first time, maybe for the 100th time, that don't believe love will happen for them, or that I'm too old, or I don't want kids, or what. And here you are, having gone through the insecurity, and you were very vulnerable when you were weeping, and you had to move and different things like that, and all of a sudden, and you skydive. I love that. I love that you did that. And all of a sudden, you literally faced your fear and went skydiving. That's big. Yeah. That's big. You did a leap of faith. You did a leap of faith, and then did all this kind of manifest after that, after you went on, started facing your fears in the dark night of the soul, and even jumping out of an airplane. Did you manifest? Did you see this stuff kind of lighten up for you when you started facing those fears?
Yeah, it's when I kind of let go of, when I started to surrender, really. I got this tattoo, a moth, and it's, my daily reminder to just surrender, let things flow.
What did you say it was a tattoo of? I'm sorry.
A moth on my hand. And
I love it.
Just ever started to surrender and let things flow naturally, and and let go of fear. Just abundance started flowing in, and it's been amazing.
Okay,
but
before
it
you
all
hang
started
up,
from
close your eyes.
God.
Close your eyes. Breathe in. What we breathe in, this is for you too, audience. What we breathe in, we give life to. So close your eyes, Ashley. Breathe in and just absorb this. Great mystery, great spirit, all that is sacred and holy. Literally, as I breathe, I am grateful. I am grateful. As I put my footprints on this world, I am grateful that I was able to release the fear and let the fear die and surrender and do my leap of faith. And I am so grateful, and I will never forget, and I will demonstrate it by the kindness of how I show up in the world with the new tribe and the new family that I now am manifesting. Aho, amen.
You better keep calling us and let us know when you have that baby. Like, don't stop calling. We got to keep this story going.
Oh,
that's right.
You know, like,
congratulations,
so
honey. Thank you so much, Ashley. Happy Halloween.
Wow. You remember when she...
Yeah.
Yeah. She called into you, like, crying about all the stuff she was facing from her childhood, about... She's been, like, one of the most vulnerable, outspoken, authentic callers. I'm not saying nobody else is, but she really...
That's right. That's right. Well, she's had the diligence too. I mean, she kept reaching out to the show. You know, she could have been doing other things. She could have been sleeping. She could have been whining. She could have been, out there just, trying to hook up with somebody. But no, she respected your show. She respected the information. She kept calling in. She followed her intuition of like, no, I'm bothered by this. I want to, careen past this. I don't want this. I want to get out of my cocoon.
Yeah.
And she did it. And that's evidence. It's not just a blessing way for Ashley. It's evidence for all the people that don't know who it is and never will meet Ashley. She's like a talking oracle card. She's testifying, Joe. She's testifying.
I would say, too, like, I hate that I'm sick during that moment. Like, I always knew when she called in a long time ago that she was, I don't know, I get this energy about people that when they open up like that they're going to get, I forget who said it, but your desires will always be amended. I forget who said that. I think it was Teal Swan or something like that.
It's a pretty statement. Well, when you look at the word desire, when you break that up and go back to, I like breaking up words and getting rid of the Latin or the Greek or the air.
Desire.
Yeah. Desire, but desire means of the Father. Desire, the King. Desire of the King, of the Father, of the Divine. Desire.
Looks like Kat's calling in. What's up, Kat?
Hi, Joe. Hi, Mary. And congrats to Ashley. So how are you, Mary?
How kind of you, Kat. I'm good, Miss Kat. How are you doing? You're such exuberance in your voice. You're such a little wise soul.
Wonderful. This is your birthday month.
It is. Witchy woman's already been dusting off the broom. Getting out the Hallows fetishes and costumes, and my dog rolls her eyes like, oh, here we go. Because my dog was born on Halloween, too, which is a wonderful gift in my life, knowing that she's it's the only dog, because I've rescued dogs my whole life, other people's, unwanted, crippled ones, and it's the only dog in over 35 years that I've had of dogs. I never knew their birth dates because they're always rescues or throwaways or from the shelter. When I went to save her, the guy had a litter and he didn't want her, and she was she was only 5.5 months old, and so I went to see her at the end of April, 1st of May, and I said, by the way, do you happen to know, since you had the litter at your house, you've got the mother and the father dog, do you happen to know her birth date? He goes, yeah, she's born Halloween night, and I'm like, oh, that's my dog.
That's cool.
Wow.
You got a question for Mary, though? We got 50.
I know it is. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I want an unusual request. It could be a card, but something that I can laugh about.
I love that. Okay, well, what you got was, and I'll pick a charm, too. What you got is the Nine of Cups. Now, the Nine of Cups actually is sitting on a crescent-shaped stool and he's got his arms crossed because he's grinning. It's like the great cosmic grin. He's grinning because even the table behind him is a crescent-shaped. Maybe the crescent moon is going to be a great phase for you to laugh. I want you to laugh so hard that you're crying because you're laughing so hard. But the Nine of Cups is known upright as the wish card. You will get your wish. When the Nine of Cups is reversed or topsy-turvy, it's like the wish will not be granted at this time. So you got the wish card on this new moon night, so it's like sky's the limit. So you need to be frolicky, and you need to be joyous, and you need to like run around your house and dance and skip and light your sage or your incense and just say, I'm going to have this. I got the wish card, So it's like, of course there becomes the old adage, be careful what you wish for, you'll get it. Now let me pick your charm. Let me close my eyes. Let me use my non-dominant hand to swirl over the charm. Ooh, I got the dolphin. Does that mean anything to you? The dolphin jumping out of the water?
Yeah.
It's silver.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah, because the dolphin, and the 9 of Cups, the cups, as I learned tarot, the cups are the water element. So I'm really feeling that the laughter and the harmony and the joy and the funny stuff, the funny, good stuff is going to start happening as we start rolling into these type of Scorpio little energies, So, and the dolphin to me is like, even if that's been a past spirit totem for you, it's back again. It's like there's an evolving empowerment coming with the dolphin. So however it came into your life, when it first came into your life, it's back again. It's back again with a power, with a different kind of powered up type of a thing. But the 9 of Cups, that's a nice card. It's the wish card. It's very, very nice. And he's grinning, so he knows something we don't know. So you might know something that Joe and I in the tribe, the Lighting the Void tribe, doesn't know, but you're going to have to call back now and tell us what brought the corners of your mouth upward.
Okay, I will. And just to let you know, that was spot on with the dolphin, because last time I went to the ocean a couple of weeks ago, I went out in the water, it was freezing, and I had a dolphin right in front of me. So that was spot on.
Oh, that's so magical. Oh, that's so magical. And you may, I want to say this to you because my guides just said it quickly. This Saturday and Sunday, I feel like something's going to be like revealed to you in like your dream lodge and your dream state. So if maybe you take like a little low dose melatonin, just to kind of pump up their magnesium or something to pump up you falling into a deeper sleep, or maybe put on some kind of YouTube meditation. But I feel like, if you can, prioritize taking that nap or going to sleep earlier, even if you wake up to piddle and go back to sleep, because I feel like your sacred guides, and maybe the dolphin's going to show up again, but I feel like that you're going out of the conscious mind into the superconscious and the sacred realms, and I just feel like this weekend that's important, like Saturday going into Sunday.
Oh,
and I
awesome,
so appreciate
Mary.
you
Thank
calling.
you. I just wrote it down.
Thank you, honey.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you for my birthday wish.
Dolphins.
Okay, bye-bye.
I saw dolphins too. So
I love dolphins.
Yeah, dolphin. It's really crazy too. Like when you see a dolphin the first time, it's like,
was that the first time you've been among them?
Yeah. I didn't even know it was a dolphin actually until I saw it. Exactly. I had to ask somebody. I was like, "Hey, is that a dolphin?" They're like, "Yeah."
Too. Listen, I was born in the mountains. First time we went to Florida, I thought it was a shark. I'm out there and I'm like, "Hey, there's a fin," because I'm a little kid. I'm like 7, 8, 9 years old. And Dad's like, "What?" And the people that lived in Florida, they're just like, "Oh no, look, it's curved." I said, "I don't care if it's curved or straight. It's a fin. I'm getting out of the water. I'm from the mountains. I don't know this, And then I came to learn that a lot of times dolphins will drive off the sharks that come too close to the shore. And a lot of times when I was driving across the Howard Franklin Bridge from the beach of Treasure Island or St. Pete to go over to Tampa to do my shows, 3 dolphins would break the water and do that curve. So for me, when I lived in Florida, when I saw 3 dolphins, that was my totem for Florida.
Looks like we got Asheville area, 828 area code. Who's on the air?
This is Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
Happy birthday.
Hi, honey. Thank you, honey.
That's one of my Libras that I mentioned. I had 2 birthday Libras, Joe. I had Dr. Lauren and Lisa. Lisa's the new moon birthday today.
Have you called into the show before, Lisa?
No, I haven't. I haven't actually been able to stay up this late. Usually she sends me the show like on the thing because I'm usually like I'm going to stay up, and then I don't. I just doze off, but been staying up
happy
quite
new
a
moon
bit here
birthday. She's the one, Joe. She's one of the ones that'll chase. She'll chase after me. She's the little cute puppy that'll chase after me, going, "Where's the replay? Where's the replay? When's he going to put it on YouTube? When's the I don't want to wait. I took notes. I had to go to sleep. Go tell Joe to put it up there." And I'm like, "I'll try. So Lisa, let's pick a birthday card for you. Let's pick first time caller. Remember, Joe, when Art would say that first time caller? You're on with Art Bell. God bless you, Art Bell. I miss you. And I know you're with us. Okay, Lisa, you've got the Eight of Wands, and I'm using my very spectacular Star Tarot deck, one of my newfound favorites. I absolutely love it. There's a heart in the center of a diamond, and the heart has 8 illuminated white stars shooting all off with 2 lightning bolts up top in yellow and 2 lightning bolts at the bottom. So we've got the primary colors. It's almost like a medicine wheel and also like the energy of 2 pyramids, like moving into the Merkaba or Merkaba. And so what this is that the 8 is the infinity. 8 in numerology is always an expansive energy. So the only caveat, the only caution to that is be very mindful of what energy you're allowing to take root or to expand. You want to be very deliberate about what you're calling into your life that you're going to let expand. So if all of a sudden you say, I'm really liking this new work I'm doing, that's going to expand. And you may have thought, wait a minute, I was comfortable with 30 hours. Maybe I don't want to go to 40. Okay, so there's going to be this very quick expansion. So the things that you want to see more of and to experience more of in your life, that'll happen. I do also feel that about 8 weeks from now, I feel like there's this rich rise in your heart. I just feel like that something that you finally have broken a contract with that was like a heaviness for a long time, or as in psychology would say, you finally unpacked that emotional suitcase that you kept carrying with you into the future. You understand that one?
Happy birthday, by the way. Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for staying up, and thank you for calling.
Yeah. I literally came into Asheville. Like, I came from Alabama to Murphy. I got in Murphy about 1:30 in the morning last night. Got up about 8 this morning, and now I'm in Asheville. It's just been a whirlwind. But, nickname is Gypsy. So
the charm that you got, 2 of them fell out. A gold cross, and the symbol, the geometry of the cross is spirit penetrating matter and informing it. And you got a silver butterfly. So I feel like that it's not a cocoon anymore. The butterfly is able now to sip the nectar of the powers of the flowers. So this is about, the butterflies are air creatures, even though they can land on the plant. So I feel like that the air that you wear and the atmospheric conditions around you are now lighter, much lighter than they have been. I'm hearing for 11 years. Or than it's been 11 years ago. So later on, think about what was going on 11 years ago, because I feel like that all those contracts and all that heaviness, and part of that's with your mom. There's something that got cleaned and cleared up with your mom, whatever that is. And I just feel like that's a nice sweet spot for you. That's a nice Libra sweet spot for you, because I feel like you carried a heavy burden with that for quite a while. Capiche? Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Lisa,
honey.
woman of
rest.
many words. Happy birthday. You staying up late. She's like, yeah, she's probably doing the slow blink. Like, she's so right, but I can't say the words. I'm exhausted.
It's okay, honey. Thank you. Happy birthday, honey.
Thank you.
Thanks for your call.
Thank you.
Happy
Get some
birthday.
rest.
Sometimes I think
We got a birthday.
Libras are the coolest people on the planet, probably.
They can be. I've met some interesting. It's never just one sign, though. You know that. I mean, it's the Libra element that you're drawn to. We all have Libra somewhere. Yeah.
For sure.
Well, you should. It balances in your chart.
We have time for one more caller.
Okay.
I'll say it again. There they are. 801 area code. I think I know who this is. Is this, I'm not going to say it because I'll look stupid. 801 area code. Who's on the air?
It's Lacey.
Okay, it is Lacey. I was like, if I say the wrong name, I'm going to be dumb.
No, you won't.
Nope, it's me.
There's a lot
Hi,
of people
Mary.
that
Hi,
call
Joe.
your show.
Hey, Lacey, what's up?
Hi, honey.
Oh, hey. Can I get a card or a symbol, whatever you want to do? I kind of have a question, but I'm willing to flow with it.
Do you want the card first and the charm first, or do you just want to state the theme of the question? It's up to you. Follow your intuition.
Card.
card.
Okay. So I get a big yes on something being more prosperity or something expanding. You got the King of Pentacles. This moves you into the realm of the diamonds in regular playing cards, and the King is the top court card. Aces involve spirit. So the King of Pentacles, if it's a person, it has to do with someone that would want to see you prosper, that would want to see you advance, a benefactor, an investor, someone that at least would sit down and listen and really give you attention and maybe some advice. You know, it can be a banker, it can be a financial advisor, it can be an insurance person, it can be an attorney. But whatever it is, let's say, let me give you a scenario. Let's say that something happened and it was unfair and you might have to have a little litigation or get an insurance company involved with a little fender bender or something. You'll win. You'll win. There'll be a favorable outcome to this situation because the King of Pentacles shows that you are the one that's favored. Let me see what charm you got. Okay, I got the peace symbol for you, which is interesting because that's one of the lesser known symbols of Libra, the whole hippie movement, the whole symbol of the peace symbol of Libra. And a lot of times people fight with that because they say that the peace symbol is the symbol of a broken cross. And I'm like, really? I never saw that way. I never ever looked at a peace symbol and thought that it looked like a broken cross. I mean, I see a cross as a cross and the peace symbol is a peace symbol. So with the King of Pentacles and the peace symbol, something that you might have begun to get stressed over or worried about or get into that monkey mind or that mind chatter, I'm just going to tell you not to do it because maybe a little time has to go by, but it's going to be all okay and probably even better than what you think. Does that fit your question good enough?
Yeah, it does, actually. Thank you. My question is, I'm going to ask, So it's a go on making a move. Like jump on whatever my idea is right now. Don't be patient. Okay, right on. Thank you.
Yep, I absolutely would. I absolutely would, especially with. Thanks, honey.
No, yeah. Thank you.
Bye, Lacey. Thanks for calling in.
Bye, Joe.
Don't be patient. Jump on in. Yeah,
that's right. Jump on it. What's that song? There's that old
Get
song.
down on it.
Get up on it. Yeah, it's a good song.
Mary. Back in Mary's,
it's these great black singers.
Back in Mary's disco days.
Oh yeah, listen, trust me. We snuck into the clubs, trust me.
You guys want to know something? Like I was talking to Mary before the show. She told me I shouldn't go to rave parties anymore. That's terrible, Mary. Why would you tell me that?
That's not the way I said it. You took that out of context. You want to say it the way I said it?
Yeah, you said go to rave parties, but don't do the drugs.
Go have a good time. That's what I said. Yeah, don't misquote me, not this Scorpio. I said, yeah, go to the rave party. I love concerts and all that too. Dance, get into the trance of dancing. But my advice was, and you know what I said.
Don't do the drugs.
Don't get into that. Right. Don't get into the drug. You don't have to have the drug part of it always, or the too much alcohol part of it, for all of us, not just Joe, always, in order to have that rave or that party experience. You know, you can really like get high on the energy sometimes. So you have that differential, you know, like I've been high before, I've been drunk before, you know, I've done hallucinogenics before, I've had the pop before, but now I want to go and I just want to really, as a magician, pick up on the atmosphere and watch the frequencies change. So I said to him, yeah, go to the rave party, but you don't have to overindulge. You know, like really be acutely aware of what spirit energy, like discernment, you know, what's manifesting around you, because when you get people dancing and singing and excited and some are high and some aren't, you can start to watch, you know, both the invisible, I'll say,
yeah,
invisible and the visible. No, I absolutely think a party's great for Halloween. Are you kidding me?
Well, one of my all-time favorite DJs is coming to Florida. I can't, but it's on Halloween too, so I don't know.
Oh my God, there's your signs right there. That's on. Let me tell you, I've had some good Halloweens in Florida.
Yeah? All right.
Florida's a Pisces state. A Pisces state.
Okay.
So Halloween, Scorpio, and that'll go. And both those signs get along real good with your Cancer moon. So you need to go have some fun.
Well,
you need
Scorpio
to
and
move away
Jupiter.
from the heavy.
What's that mean?
Jupiter expands whatever sign it's in. So if a person has Jupiter in a certain sign, we'll use your example, Jupiter in Scorpio, then it's the moth to the flame. You're going to be drawn to the mystery of the scorpionic energy. And it could pull the opposite. It could pull the polarity. It could pull Taurus. But you're going to be drawn to the depths and the mystery. And with Scorpio, it's more the sensuality and the magic of sensuality. Magic and sensuality more than just bump and grind.
Oh, bump and grind. But yeah, you don't cut corners with words. I like it. Yeah.
No, I don't. No.
Yeah.
No,
well,
no,
I mean, that makes sense. Cause I'm just saying like, no, that makes sense. Cause anybody can pull up to a gas station. You know what I'm saying? You're missing out on everything. Yep. Everything that's beautiful about life.
You pulled in my mammo at that moment. I remember being like 15 years old, and she was going to give me some of that mountain witchy kind of advice, and so she says, Merlin, what? And I'm looking at a magazine or something on the porch swing. She goes, don't ever be a filling station. I said, what?
Oh, filling.
And she goes, don't ever be a filling station. Don't let them just drive in and fill up and go on. And I'm like, what is that? What is that? That's so weird. She goes, you know what I meant. And she just walk off.
No, but
the normal thing
sensuality doesn't have to be just that. Like it can be all kinds of stuff,
Oh, sensuality. Listen, sensuality is so much more than just body parts connecting.
Yeah.
So much more than that. I've lit one guy up one time just because he had never had his nose traced with a finger in a sensual way. He looked at me and goes, I don't know what the hell that was, but I'm quivering all over. And I'm like, I know.
That's so cool. I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, that's cool.
Of course you do. Well, what's so funny is I'd gotten into astrology, and besides the fact I was attracted to him and he was going to be like a man popsicle anyway, I wanted to like Taurus rules the nose, in the throat. So I thought, I'm going to trace the whole outline of his nose, and ever tenderly, nobody's ever touched that like skinny part of his nose in the middle of his nostrils, and I'm going to do that.
Or the corner of
energy.
Lip.
He just like,
yeah, I know what you're doing.
yeah, and he's like, and then I like did like the sides of his neck, and he's like, oh my God, and I'm like, I know.
Poor guy.
But here's what I thought. He enjoyed himself. But here's what I thought. This is cool. It was true about Taurus.
Jesus, we got to get out of here. Where did this go? This is all right.
Happy Halloween.
Wait.
Lighting the void.
Can you tell everybody the big message before we get out of here? Just the one.
It's not as bad as it seems. It's not as bad as it seems. Don't get beguiled and bewitched by this external media, AI, BS, fear porn. Don't do it. Don't do it. Take back your power. Enjoy autumn, no matter where you live, and pull back into your true power. And once a day, what is that random act of kindness that you can do by money, word, or deed? And then also imagine that you are a kindness urn. And all of that, stars are just cascading into that urn. And so you have a manifestation magical pot, and all of the love and all of your desires and all of your dreams, they're real. They'll manifest. See the stars coming into that magical urn once a day, and then go forth and do a random act of kindness. I promise you, within 2 weeks, your world will change.
And balance each other.
How about that?
Balance yourself, balance each other. Spread the love.
Yeah, be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. Be good to yourself. Summon spirit. Ask spirit to help you get into alignment in your life. But here's the key of Libra. Great Spirit, Holy Spirit, thank you for tuning me up and aligning me with grace and harmony and love. I call it, I receive it, so be it. Aho, amen.
All right, well, Mary will be back on the next new moon. You guys go to her website, maryducina.com, MaryDucina, maryducina.com. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of the show tonight as well. Dark Waters, of course, at Dogman Cams. We also got Mellow Madness Tattoos, Barbara, God, we love Barbara. We love all you guys, the patrons. Ryan Gable's up next. Good night, y'all. Sweet dreams.